So at some point in our lives, a doctor will probably tell us information we did not expect or like to hear. And so it'd be nice if we had a good idea how to respond well to that information than acting on the fly. And so I have a friend of mine, a neighbor, Cheyanne. She's here with me. She is a mother of 2 girls, a wife to a Matthew, and likes to lift iron over her head and is currently a nurse. Also currently in a battle with cancer. And so I wanted to talk with her and see how she responded to getting not great news and is still fighting the news she was given. And so just a simple little question. So we're gonna go through, we'll go through 11 questions, and then I really wanna have like a bridge into your world that sometimes words won't do. So we'll write a song based on the answers to those questions so people can, at least I can understand better what it's like to respond to being given not so good news and how to do that well. And so just 11 questions, we'll start with it and we'll go from there and write a song. So what cancer do you have?
I have breast cancer. So when I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, meaning it's in my right breast, but it had also traveled to my lymph node. And then my cancer is also estrogen positive, so that means that it's fueled by estrogen, which is a female hormone, if you didn't know.
I've heard. I'm a testosterone person, but
Yeah.
I know what the estrogen is. So what you kind of started to go into it, but what exactly is cancer and why is that a problem?
So the cancer that's in my body started in my milk duct, so of my breasts. And cancer in general is just a proliferation of abnormal cells that don't have a job. You know, most of your cells in your body have, you know, they're skin cells, they do this job, they're breast cells, they produce milk. These cells, there's a mutation basically that gets out of hand, and usually the body, the immune system will stop the cancer from growing, but for some reason my immune system did not, and it got out of control. So it takes over and it can grow until it's found or stopped.
And you said it doesn't have a job, and so cells that don't have a job, it sounds like, are a problem inside your body. They're taking energy. I imagine. What are the cells, the cancerous cells that have no job? What are they doing that's a problem?
Well, they can invade other cells. So they can invade the area around the breast tissue. They can start growing into the skin and even into your muscles, making it not work properly. And then in my case, it did go to the lymph node. Once it goes to the lymph node, it can go to your liver, your brain, and just kind of basically take over.
And so what, I don't really know I know the lymph node. Actually, I don't. I can guess the lymph node is important. But what does the lymph node do? Does it like produce energy?
No, your lymph node is like it's kind of like a cleaning up sponge for the body. So you have like your lymph system that is all over. And if you get like a cold or a little virus, your lymph system will trap it, and then your immune system can come and find it and beat it up, kill it, and then take it out of your body to be processed by your liver or kidneys and excreted from the body. But it's very important for your immune system, basically.
Okay, so if the lymph nodes aren't working, you can't really, it's hard when you get sick to fight sickness.
Correct.
Okay. And so what did you notice in your body before you knew you had cancer that made you wonder or get tested for something? What was that process like before you knew I have breast cancer?
Before I was diagnosed, I was 38 when I was diagnosed, but I was super healthy. I felt like probably in the best shape of my life. I was running, eating well, lifting weights, feeling really strong. I did not feel sick at all. And And then July of last year, I was in the shower, I was washing myself, and I felt an abnormal lump. And then I felt like another little lump, and I was like, It was very strange. And I was concerned enough about it that I went and saw my primary care doctor. She did a breast exam and referred me to have a mammogram. So I waited about a month.
What's a mammogram? Is that like an x-ray?
It is. It's like they take your breast and they basically squish your breast tissue just to get a really good look at it.
Oh, yes.
It's not very comfortable, and I don't think they are doing routine mammograms until you're like 45 or 50, so I never had one. But so I got my boobs squished down, and after that they pulled me into a room and they said, we don't think it's anything, but we should do a biopsy just in case.
Because it was only stage 2, so it wasn't that progressive.
Well, the collective, so like I had several lumps from like the bottom of my breast all the way up to the upper right quadrant. The collective like expanse was like 8 centimeters, so it was pretty large.
Okay.
So do you want me to keep going, tell you about the biopsy?
No, I want to know like what you noticed and like what they told you, because all what you're saying is leading to more questions that I have. So yeah, the floor is yours.
So they pulled me in a room and they wanted to do a biopsy, and I was like,
When you say a biopsy, they're gonna like have to cut in, or
no, they just take a needle.
Okay.
They take an ultrasound machine and then they go in, they numb you so it doesn't hurt. They take a needle and poke it in, and it like scoops out a little piece of tissue.
Okay.
It's really fast. But 5 years earlier, I had a lump on my other breast and I had gotten a biopsy and it was fine. So I was almost not going to get the biopsy. I was just going to be like, you know what, it's fine. I'll just like get another mammogram in 6 months because, they didn't seem concerned. So I wasn't that concerned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did the biopsy. It came back positive for breast cancer.
Okay. And so, man, I tried to sit in your seat for it, but I can't imagine. So whenever they told you you had breast cancer, what was that like for you? Like, what was your mind space like? Was it like a brick wall? Like, what did it feel like?
Yeah, that was a rough day. It was my dad's birthday, for one thing. I was at work. So I was.
You're a nurse?
Yeah, yep. I'm a nurse, and I was at work at the hospital, like halfway through my shift, and I got a missed call from my primary care doctor. And then I get a missed call from the radiologist's office, and I'm like, okay. Neither of them left messages to say like, results are negative, so I kind of got a little nervous. I went to one of my other nurses. I was like, I'm really nervous about this biopsy results now all of a sudden. She's like, oh, you're fine, you're fine. And then they call back. And I walk into the break room, and they just said, it's cancer. And I immediately just lost it. I was crying. I was pretty inconsolable. And I left work that day. I called my husband, and they sent me home from work because I was pretty much a wreck.
And that was July of last year.
So I found the lump at the end of July. I had my biopsy in September because I had gone out of town like for a couple of weeks in August. And so when I finally got the biopsy results back, it was September 24th.
Okay. And then, so you get this news. And so how did the family respond? Like, how did your husband respond? Did you tell your kids? And your kids are they're all under 6?
Yeah, my kids are 3 and 5. I got home that day and I was just a wreck. My husband was a wreck. He doesn't cry hard, but he cries like little tears, and I could see that he was really worked up.
Like the one tear cry kind of a thing. Like
where he turns his head so you can't really see.
Yeah.
And yeah, my kids, I'm an honest person and I can't really hide what I'm feeling. So my kids knew right away. And they didn't really know what it meant, but they knew that Mama was scared.
Yeah.
So it was really a rough day.
And then so like in that you're the one who needs treatment, but did you feel like you have to like try and like guide your kids through that, or what were you thinking about the road ahead? I'm sure they told you a little bit of info? Or you just got the news, you didn't know what the treatment was like, it was just like, hey, we'll have another test?
At first, well, like when I got diagnosed, like I still had to, then they ordered a breast MRI. So then I have to go get more imaging. So then I needed an MRI. They need a full body CAT scan. You need a bone scan to make sure that you don't have cancer in your bones or in your organs. And then you meet with the breast surgeon, and they recommend, surgery wise. But then they say, hey, we can't really make surgical plans because you still need to meet with the medical oncologist.
What's a medical oncologist?
So they're the oncologist who prescribe chemotherapy and like all the medication involved. So then it wasn't until I met with her, it was like another week later after the MRI. When my MRI came back is when I found out about the lymph node. So I met with my medical oncologist, and then she wanted me to get a lymph node biopsy. So we had to collect more information before,
to know how to attack it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a couple weeks before I had a plan, and that was the hardest because I didn't know what I was gonna, like, how can you prepare for something when you don't know what's coming?
Yep. And so what if you were to tell someone what to do with the first bit of information, like what would you tell someone? What would you tell someone, like, hey, whenever you get bad news?
It's hard to like tell somebody how to feel because like in hindsight, the shock wears off and like the grief it slowly kind of tapers off and you find like a new normal.
Yeah.
But when you're going through and like all of a sudden cancer is like related to yourself, it's kind of like you just have to feel the feelings and like gather your loved ones around you and be supported and held. I think that's all that you can do.
Can you say that last sentence again? I think that was really important.
Yeah, I think when you go through something that's so traumatic, you just have to be held and allow yourself to be held by the people who love you and just feel all the feelings.
Yeah. So you're saying let people hold you and let yourself feel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the last guest we had was saying something similar where he was a detective and basically just not allowing himself to feel and let it be like said, like, hey, like today was really hard and I didn't like how I felt. Mm-hmm. And so like I don't know if this is an okay question, but like what would you recommend like people not do? I feel like sometimes really dumb in how to interact with someone who tells me they're really sick. And like, do you just say, I'm sorry? Do you say, and I'm sure it's frustrating, oh, if you need anything, let me know. It's like, it's like, well, if you have like cancer-free boobs, that'd be helpful,
Yeah.
Like what would you want someone to, like, what's most helpful from friends and family versus what's like annoying? If you wanted to give an example of like, maybe the annoying thing first, like what's frustrating that people would do when they heard you had cancer and tried to help or...
Well, right away, I didn't know anything about breast cancer, to be honest. Like I didn't know that there was different types of breast cancer. As a nurse, I'm not an oncology nurse, so I don't really specialize in it. But so I was trying to just take in all the information. And right away, things that were said to me that were not helpful are things like, oh, my aunt had breast cancer and the hormonal therapy made her crazy. Her husband divorced her. So like really just hearing like all these negative experiences about cancer in people's family. Because honestly, there's things like that have not left my mind.
Because I know this because I've talked to you, but you said it's an estrogen positive cancer. Mm-hmm. And so that means you have to get rid of the estrogen in your body.
Yeah. So.
And if you don't have estrogen, it's an important hormone.
Yeah.
And so you have to do a hormone therapy to get rid of it. And that's why you're saying the hormone therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to.
And we can talk about
clarify.
it more if you want.
Yeah.
But. So yeah, don't say things like that. And then also the things that are like the most helpful. I know everybody they don't know really what to say. But instead of saying something like, can I do anything for you? Like maybe even be like more specific. Like, can I pick up your kids and take them to the park? Or can I take your kids out to dinner? Or can I bring you a meal this week? You know, more tangible
Specific,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can like actually look at the thing, like actually, yes, I would like to not cook tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah. And I was really, really lucky there. I've had a meal train, I've had a GoFundMe. People have been super supportive. But just connecting with that and being like, can I take your kids to the library for an hour? Or, you know,
Yeah.
a specific thing.
Yeah. Versus just like, because if someone asks me, hey, let me know if you need anything. It's like, I don't even know. Like, I'm like kind of drowning. I don't know what I need. It's like, so it's like being like, hey, can I help you lay some tile? Sorry, home improvement projects.
Yeah.
Super helpful. So I don't know how much detail you want to go into, but I think it's helpful. What treatments did you go through and what were they like?
So I am lucky. I get all the treatments for breast cancer. So what that means, my first thing that I had to do, I had to get a Metaport placed so I could receive chemotherapy.
What's a Metaport?
A Metaport, it's like implantable device that sits under your skin and it goes into a central vein so they can access the same device every time when they
So you don't have to make a big
Right.
incision every time. Okay.
Right, and it's safer because it's in a big vessel versus like your peripheral veins are small and
Okay.
they're not very sturdy.
So it's like basically into like the highway of your bloodstream.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
No back roads. You got to get to the interstate.
So I had 5 months of chemotherapy. I received 3 different medications. The first 2 medications are called AC. One of them has the nickname the Red Devil. It's a very toxic medication. I had to get an echocardiogram of my heart before I received it just to make sure my heart was strong enough because it can cause heart damage.
Are these kinds of chemo or is
Yeah.
this is separate?
Those are the chemo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sorry, this is like chemotherapy. It's like a word that people use. What is, maybe the better question is, what is chemo exactly? I think it kills everything, but it's supposed to kill the cancer, the cells that have no job. And it also kills your good cells too, right?
Yes. So, chemo was rough because it kills the rapidly dividing cells, which is the cancer cells, your hair cells, your skin cells. I was lucky, the inside of your mouth, your oral mucosa, and like the mucosa in your nose, like all that can get really dry. People get mouth sores. I didn't get any mouth sores, thank goodness. But I did lose all my hair. I lost all my eyebrows, all my body hair, basically. So, that was rough. So that was the first 2 months was the 2 medications, and then I had to do weekly Taxol, which is Paclitaxel. It's a different medication, another chemo. And for that one, neuropathy is a big side effect. So
That's like tingling.
Yeah, in your feet and in your extremities. So during chemo treatments, I'd have to wear like these ice gloves on my hands and my feet to protect them. And as a result, I didn't have any neuropathy afterwards.
Okay. And so if you had to like average or like give the like, hey, like this is what it was like for 5 months, what are some of the things you felt? And then like what was like the energy level that you had?
First 2 months were the roughest because those 2 drugs,
The Red Devil and
and its buddy, were intense. So I did not experience a lot of nausea and vomiting with my chemotherapy. I fasted before and after chemo. There's research out there to support that fasting before and after chemo helps protect your healthy cells. So I think it worked for me because I didn't have any GI issues. So
you fasted. Is that because when you're not, like, sometimes you eat things that your body's not super stoked on, so your body's like locked and loaded to fight whatever else.
Well, when you're in a fasted state, it's like your healthy cells almost kind of like go into like a hibernation, like their metabolic rate slows down. Like the chemo can't see them as well. And the cancer cells don't use metabolism the same way as your normal cells do, so it can see the cancer easier. Theoretically is what some of the research is saying.
Sweet.
My oncologist was like, yeah, like she's, they're not prescribing fasting in our hospital yet, but she was like, give it a shot. So they're,
Little nudge.
Little nudge, yeah. But she didn't want me to lose weight. That was like the big thing.
Gotta keep energy up. And so, like, were you exhausted? I know you do, like, you do more pull-ups than most most men probably. You were working out. Were you able to still work out, or was that on the back burner?
I definitely still worked out. It might not be to the intensity that I am used to, but I was still really active.
Did the doctor recommend staying active?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, at least walking. But yeah, I continue to lift weights and run and do yoga and all that stuff.
Did you find there was like a witch with a capital B on your shoulder that was like, no, just sit, just like stay here? Or was it kind of like a little bit like, or is that like, no, I need to run so I like
Yeah,
feel
no,
better?
I needed to stay active.
And it felt like you wanted, like it was like that's almost like a healthy drug. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Even if it was just going for a long walk. The biggest side effect, I should mention it. There's a lot of other side effects too with chemo. Like I would have like hot flashes and night sweats sometimes at night. And chemo brain is the biggest thing. And I'm still not recovering. Cognitively, I would feel very overwhelmed. Stimuli would just like make me go crazy. And I'm still trying to recover from that. Word finding, remembering things. It's like I'm not quite myself yet.
So would you say your brain was foggy with chemo brain? Or was
Yeah.
It, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, so your mindset through all of this, from that phone call you got while you were working as a nurse, and they said it's cancer, to 5 months in of treatment, until like now, like I'm sure there's lows and maybe highs in there. What was your mindset through cancer? Because I know some people, the mindset just like goes into the pit.
Yeah.
And like how was your mind, and how did you like take care of your mind to not like just stop fighting?
It's definitely fluctuated a lot. And I think it's every day is a new day. But when was it in December? Back in December, like I started chemo in October. Back in December, I started meditating. So I would sit twice a day for 10 minutes in a silent meditation, with intention to just be still and quiet my mind and try not to think. And sometimes with intention to connect with the higher power. So I feel like that was like my saving grace through all of this. I really look forward to sitting and quieting my mind. And I've branched out a little bit. Sometimes I do, more like a prayer meditation or a gratitude practice. But that's really helped me stay grounded through everything.
That is a thing I think, at least my mind is like, we should do that. Like the quieting of the mind. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have an exact recipe, but if there were a few key ingredients to the quieting, because it sounds like you said like that was a saving grace. What were some things that you did, or I guess maybe didn't do, to quiet?
When I sit in meditation?
Yeah.
Focusing on the breath. Sometimes that's not enough for me. Like I have to focus on a specific area where I feel the breath. Whether it be the tip of your nose, you're trying to just focus all of your attention to the tip of your nose where you feel the coolness or the warmness, of your breath. Or when my mind is too noisy, I use a mantra to say.
And so it's like just like a phrase.
Yeah, like so hum just means I am.
Okay.
So on the inhale, hum on the exhale. Okay. That's what works for me.
And you said a higher power sometimes was helpful. Can you talk a little more about that?
Yeah, I before cancer, I feel like I was open to becoming more spiritual. Like I felt like a yearning in my soul. As cheesy as that sounds, but like if I felt like something has been missing for like a couple years, I would classify myself before as like an atheist. So I don't know, after diagnosis, I really dove into trying to connect with God or with a higher power. I still don't have a definition for my higher power or for my spirituality necessarily, and I'm trying to figure it out. But I would say that I do have a spiritual practice. I pray and I meditate, and I have been going to church and trying to fellowship with people and read the Bible and read other spiritual books. So it's kind of just been a journey.
Yeah. When you say going back to the quieting of the mind, I'm just trying to. If you were to like give someone, you kind of said it, but I just want to focus a little bit. I don't want to go down rabbit trails. When you say quieting the mind, and you focus on your breath, in my mind, I'm like a doer, and so I want to like have some goal, and you said the I am. Why do you say I am? Is it just like I exist? Mm-hmm. How does that help you?
So I am is like it's like the mantra of all mantras, I guess. It's just kind of like saying like I am the universe. Like what's in my body and what's in my soul is what's in the stars and what's in the world, So it's kind of like I am in essence without all my thoughts. Like there is a me that's deeper than just all the thoughts that are in my head. And that is with the universe, if that makes sense.
I think so. I think what you're saying is like I'm not just my thoughts.
I'm not just my thoughts.
I am more than a thought. I am. Mm-hmm. I think Yahweh literally means I am.
Does it?
And I think this is me like this. Don't quote me on this. There's like a part of that is like the mm-hmm. Anyway, that was me. I think that's another. Don't quote me, but I think that's like part of why the breath, the Yah, and the way. Anyway, sorry. We're, like I said, rabbit trails. Well, that's awesome. I think the quieting of the mind. A friend of mine, literally, who had a neuropathy. He had a really bad autoimmune, and what's the word? Not headaches. The migraines to where he couldn't move, and he literally would just meditate, and he would think about himself being healthy, and and that's what made him feel better. It was just literally just thinking. I was like, dude, that's, and it sounds like so backwards, but it's just like not thinking the negative thoughts about it.
Yeah.
And letting those you can almost make yourself sick by the negativity and stuff, and you can keep running the marathon if you just know I have to keep running.
So we are a product of. I'm not saying that no thoughts is the goal all the time, but it's just when you quiet it, you can recognize your thoughts more, your thought patterns, because especially with cancer, it's easy to get online and see what other people are going through or their experiences, and then I go down and I think that their experience is going to reflect on my experience when I've had to learn.
The divorce, just
this medication was terrible and chemo was terrible, and it's everybody is so different, and I can't be spending so much energy worrying. Do you want me to tell you about my other treatments that I've had for chemo?
Yeah, you were saying. Well, what were there? Were there two other ones?
3 total, probably.
So chemo, and then you went on to
double mastectomy.
And that I know what it is because you've told me. Maybe everyone else knows, but
so I had a double mastectomy, which is where I had both of my breasts removed. And I have tissue expanders in, which is a temporary breast. because now I'm currently getting radiation. And radiation is like a beam of light, I guess. It's not a light, but it's like some radiation beams that is supposed to get any remaining cancer cells that may or may not be left in there after surgery. And surgery was rough. First couple of weeks were rough, but after the 3-week mark is kind of like when I turned around and started feeling better. And radiation is not too bad yet.
And when you say yet, is there something you've heard where it starts to it accumulates?
Yes, it's cumulative, but the side effects to be expected: burning of my skin. Hopefully not burning. Hopefully it's just skin changes, like gets a little bit thicker, leathery, sensitive, and then just overall fatigue. I think can be
being
expected.
tired. Yeah.
Like towards the end of radiation, I'll start to feel pretty tired, they said.
Because the radiation kind of stays with you.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it stay with you? Is it like once it's in there, or is it just like over time it releases?
Over time.
Okay.
I don't really know exactly how much time, but hopefully I'll be recovered about a month after radiation.
And then or is it in a few months you're starting the estrogen?
So I started that, not this week, but the week before. So I started ovarian suppression, and they want me to be on that for 5 years.
And so I'm guessing that means you can't have kids anymore.
Mm-mm.
And so how does that make you feel? Did you want to have more kids, or did you feel pretty content with the 2 that you had, or?
I think we had pretty much decided we were done with 2, but it's still emotionally like
something was taken.
It's being taken away from me when I'm not ready for it to be taken away. So that's really hard. I think if I were younger, I would want more kids. But like...
Because you said you're 38.
I'm 39 now.
Okay.
I just turned 39. So I think, there's a grief along with that. Even though, theoretically, I think we would have probably not had any more.
Yeah. Well, it's like, did I want another... I was going to do an analogy, and then my filter was like, no, don't do that.
Don't say that.
This isn't comparable to soft drinks. Okay, so I guess going into the last question, where are you now? And like, why, this sounds like a dumb question, but like, why are you fighting cancer? Like, why not just put up the white flag? Okay, I have cancer. I don't want to like go through chemo and go through the red devil and go through losing both of my breasts and then having to take estrogen. I feel like estrogen is a very important part about being a woman. And it's like, I can't have some of those things. It's like, why are you fighting? And like, what's the road ahead look like for you?
That's a good question. But the first thing that comes to mind is like I'm fighting for my children. I want to show them I can be strong and that they too can be strong when they face difficult challenges in this life. But I also want to be around for them to help them during their difficult challenges and see them get married and graduate high school and, have my own grandkids one day. And there's a lot of cool things I want to do still.
Yeah, being alive is nice.
Yeah.
And so the road ahead, what does it look like for you? Like, is the cancer now technically in remission, or is it?
Well, I'll finish radiation. I have 16 radiation treatments. I've done 6 so far. So I have 2 weeks left. And then I kind of just get monitored. I don't know if they say the word remission or if they say no evidence of disease. They haven't really told me that yet. But I just have to stay on this maintenance medication if I can tolerate it. If I can't tolerate it, there's a different medication I can try that doesn't put me into menopause. So that might be my avenue. I'm going to just...
Instead of the estrogen reducing. So you're going to try that for a season.
I'm going to try it first and see if I can just even make it for like a year or 2. Baby steps.
Yeah.
In my mind, I can't commit to the whole 5
Yeah,
years.
next day.
That's just how I operate. So yeah. And then I'll go back to work slowly.
Because have you not worked since September?
Yeah, I've been on disability since October.
Okay. Do you miss working a little bit, or do you feel like you've had more time to be around family, kids?
I miss working a little bit, but at the same time, this cancer, it's all consuming. I have so many appointments, so then I have physical therapy. You have all these things that I have to do, and I can't imagine trying to juggle a high stress job like mine. It'd be different if I worked from home or if I worked on my computer, I would have probably tried to work, but
Being a nurse around other sick people who...
yeah, especially during the winter with all the illnesses.
Yeah.
When I was immunocompromised, but
Because of the lymph node thing.
Because chemo kills all your white blood cells too. So you're highly susceptible to infection and
pneumonia. All those things.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back slowly.
Nice. So it sounds like the road ahead isn't, well, it looks hopeful. It looks like there's things that you've lost, but there's things that you still have.
Definitely. This is where the mindfulness and the meditation comes in, because it's really easy to think about what if it comes back.
Yeah.
What would I do, or how can I prevent it? Even with just getting diagnosed, your mind can go down this rabbit hole of, what did I do to cause cancer, or did I eat something wrong, or all this stuff. But like I said, I just got to take it back and not let myself go into those headspaces, and try to be positive and live each day.
Yeah. Well, are there any questions you feel like I didn't ask? Those are the questions I prepared. Is there something you would want someone who has either your type of cancer or just really getting any general super bad news from a doctor? What would you want someone else to know?
Well, the biggest thing I want to have everybody take away, especially if you're a female, well, and if you're a male, do your breast exams, and do them often. Because I had a breast exam by a doctor in December. I found my lumps in July. So don't just do them once a year, just get intimate with your body and know if it's changed or if something's different.
Because if you hadn't done the biopsy you were talking about, the cancer would have progressed to a point where it was maybe it was more difficult to fight.
Yeah, I had a pretty aggressive cancer too, so it was going pretty quickly.
Okay. Check your
breasts.
Check your breasts. Check them. All right, so thank you so much for being open with your experience. So I think we have about enough information to get into a song. Do you want to talk to cancer in the song? Do you want this song to be for your children? You said you're fighting for your kids. Do you want to talk to your kids? Do you want to do a rap about how you're the boss and you're punching cancer in the face?
We could talk to my kids.
Talk to your kids?
Because I feel like it's something that, it's how do you explain this to children? How do you make them understand why mommy doesn't feel good? Or why mommy's not doing the bath tonight? Or why I have to lay down and not cook dinner? Certain things like that. It's just, how do you explain that to a child?
I have no idea. Yeah, when I went to NIH in Bethesda, the National Institute of Health, and my 4-year-old was like, why are you going, Dad? I'm going to the hospital. He's like, why are you going to the hospital? And it's I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you talk about genetic testing with, a 4-year-old, or cancer with a 4-year-old?
Well, I've had a heart, are you going to die, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
And it's well, we're all going to die
Yeah.
at some point. we can't control that.
So
I don't know if that's
no, I think it's
the kind of material for us.
No, I really love honest songs, and I think I'm just gonna put this down for a second because I think it would be helpful. I really like the avenue of going towards talking to children because I think that is a huge problem. Is how do I tell my child like this life is fragile, and like how do you like tell them? Because I had friends who she also had breast cancer, and they didn't even tell their kids. Because they didn't like know how to, or like it's just like I just want to enjoy life with them. I don't want them to freak out. So I'm just gonna go through what we talked about a little before, the problem, desire, and so like the problem is like I'm thinking like how do I tell my kids? And I guess the info is like I might die. Is what's the thing we're trying to tell our kids? Is that we're trying to tell them like
how do for me it'd be like, okay, so I can't do your bath. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. You know, like just because I don't feel good and I can't engage as much, like that was my biggest fear is like, are they going to feel unloved or like uncared about by me because I need to lay down or rest?
I think it's like the problem is that I'm sick and the desire is like, but I love you. I'm sick, but I love you.
Yeah, and even after my surgery, like I couldn't hug my children for a couple weeks.
Because it hurt so
sore.
Much. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was hard.
Yeah. Yeah, the obstacle is like things are different.
It's like the obstacle is my body.
I hurt. And then I guess I'm trying to think of like a realization for like what maybe is like a new way you found to tell your kids that you love them.
Well, a new practice that we have developed is like a gratitude practice. We hold hands and we kind of go around and, you know, we all say what we're grateful for. And then we also do breathing exercises together, like taking deep breaths.
Sounds nice. Everyone needs more oxygen.
Can you write a song about that?
Well, I think there's like maybe, I don't know. Like I said, we're just trying to write and then we can edit it later. But like the realization is like, would you like, it's kind of quirky, but like I imagine like this is being a little dark, but like if you imagine someone on a hospital bed where it's like, you can't touch me, but it's like, would you breathe with me? With that kind of like that, like, hey, like, would you just breathe with me? And it's like, yeah. And even like, if you like, I'm thinking of even like when things are going well with my wife, it's like, when you're just quiet and you hug them, you can like feel the in and out of breath. And it's like, you don't have to say anything. It's just like, okay, maybe that's, we'll run with that. Maybe we won't like it. But would you breathe with me? And I think that maybe is like the growth is that the love is in the presence, maybe. It's in the presence. It's not like things are different. It wasn't an action. It was like that I'm with you. And like you're as much as possible with your kids. It hurts right now. Go with that. Darling, I can't hug you. Can't ride a bike no more.
I gotta go lay down.
Yeah, actually, I think that rhymes, right? It hurts.
Yeah.
I've gotta lay down. Sorry, this is the part where it's like watching me trip. Why would you breathe with?
Yeah, we do like big deep breaths.
And then do you hold it for a little bit?
We do also another breath, lion's breath and bumblebee breath.
What's lion's breath? There's not much left.
Maybe, I don't know if I like there's not much left.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, you're,
just because.
You like the hopeful, like we're heading towards.
Yeah, I want to be a little bit more.
Sorry. I lean towards darkness. I'm just trying to like paint the picture of like what you were saying of like things are different. Just be with me. That I did a lot better. Thank you for saying that. Just be with me. I know that things are different now. I know I love you. Something like simple as that. I'll have to work on it a little bit. But that like active, like I just want to let my kid know I love him.
Yeah.
And I can't tell him I love him the way I used to. And I think that's great. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll take the little bits. I think we had a decent verse and then a better chorus. I'll take that, finish it, and send it to you.
I look forward to it.
I hope the herbal tea was
Yes,
up to
delicious.
par. And well, until next time.
Yeah, thank you.
And this song is called Right There. I hurt right now, darling, I can't hug you. I must lay down. How do I tell you? When I breathe out, breathe in some air, pointing to her lungs, I'm there. It's so different, so unfair. For now, just know I'm right there. Right there. Mama made a fairy house, and Katie took us to town. Wanna see this thing I made? Could you come to the river? When I breathe out, breathe in some air, pointing to her lungs, I'm there. It's so different, so unfair. For now, just know I'm right there. Right there. Got this pain inside my chest. Doctor says I need to rest. When I breathe out, breathe in some air, pointing to her lungs, I'm there. It's so different, so unfair. For now, just know I'm right there. Thank you for joining me in this journey to be a little less stupid. Thank you, Cheyanne, for all the information and your story to help us know better how to be prepared for cancer and how to respond well to it with community, but also in our own heart and headspace. If you'd like to support Cheyanne, please search on GoFundMe, Cheyanne's Fight Against Breast Cancer, CHEYANNE, Cheyanne's Fight Against Breast Cancer. We'll have a link in the show notes, but she's 15K of 18K to being fully funded. So help her get all the way there. Even $100 helps a ton with all the different people donating. And that's it. We'll see you next 2 weeks on A Little Less Stupid. Thanks for listening.